Hey guys, welcome back to the EMIY channel. So, in The Lion King, there is some theories that other people are posting about, and I'm gonna tell you mine. So, the first Lion King, some people are saying that before Lion King came out, a young lion, Simba's cub, Koopa, was created for the Lion King franchise. And the books were created about him too. So they decided to do a movie, but without Koopa. And then here is how the movie goes. I'm going to tell you how each of the movies goes. Okay, so it opens up at like a sunset. Maybe. I don't remember. I think so. It does. Yeah. Seraphina is pregnant with Simba, right? And then Simba is born. They go to a sunset place and start talking. And then they go out. So the next day they wake up, right? They go out and they say goodbye to Seraphina. I guess so. I don't know. I always get confused. No, I'm doing a video. Yes. And then they wake up and they go out of the cave, say goodbye, and then they hang out with Nala and go to the place where the hyenas hang out. He gets in trouble because the hyenas are trying to hurt him. Mufasa goes and saves him. Zazu has to go with him too. Someone doesn't like that. And then they then Mufasa has to come. They have to go home and they have to talk to each other. Mufasa and Simba have to talk, and then they start wrestling, and they look up at the stars, and says that the lions before him are always watching him, and he'll always be there for him. My puppy Mackenzie's barking. What's wrong, Mackenzie? Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. Here you go. Okay, sorry. Okay, where was I? Oh, yeah. So Scar comes and takes Simba to the gorge and makes an evil plan to kill Mufasa and Simba. So they go to the gorge, they stand on a rock, and it's a surprise, and Simba asks, "What is the surprise?" And Scar says, "It's so good you'll die for it." Literally. He's planning to kill his nephew and his brother. So then the stampede starts with lots of gazelles and hyenas. And then Simba gets caught in the middle of it. And then Scar goes to tell Mufasa and gets him trapped in there too. And then Zazu wants to help, but he can't because Scar hit him and he fell. And then it's a crazy stampede, and Simba gets caught in the middle of it, as I already said. And and then Mufasa comes to save him. He falls out, and then he comes back. He puts him on a rock, and then Mufasa gets carried away, and he jumps out, and he climbs to his brother Scar and says, "Brother, help me." Scar says, "Long live the king," and pushes him, and he falls to his death. And then Simba sees him and starts crying, and then Scar exiles him, and he gets chased by the hyenas out of the Pride Lands. So then, and then he meets Timon, and then Scar says that Simba got killed, but he was exiled of the Pride Lands. That's the truth. Then he wanders around and he takes a nap in the desert. He finds Timon and Pumbaa. He meets them. He does Hakuna Matata. And then I'm trying to think, guys, sorry. And then he starts singing with them, and then he grows up with them, and then he remembers his father and rolls away. And says, "What happened to always being there for me? You said you would always be there for me." And then he starts thinking that it was his fault. It wasn't his fault, it was Scar's. It wasn't his fault. He did it on purpose. Sorry to get a little bit aggressive. I'm not the easiest person to talk to. But if you ever do see me, just come up and talk to me. Don't be afraid. Especially if you're a child, because I know what it's like. Okay. So. Where was I? Oh, yeah. And then he meets the monkey. I forget his name. And then he swings. And then he sees his dad's reflection. And then he sees his dad's in the clouds. And then he starts talking to him. And then Noah shows up and he goes home and starts fighting Scar. And then he gains control over the Pride Lands, and Scar falls to his death. And that's what happens. And then his son, Kion, is born. And then Kiara is born. And and then she, you know what I'm talking about, right? Then she's born, she grows up and goes to the Outlands. Meets Kovu. They grow up together, right? Here's where my theory is starting. So, Lion King. Most people thought Lion King was the last installment, but it's not. Disney is tricking you. Lion King 2 is the last installment. So, a few years have passed by. Actually, yeah, a few years have passed by before they made Lion King 2. And in between those few years is when Lion Guard started. And then when Lion King 2 was created is when the timeline was ready for Lion Guard Season 3 when Kion ran away. That's when it happened, when Kion ran away. Tell me what you think. On my Instagram, EmilyClaire61. Come follow me. And if you do, you'll get a huge shout out on one of my videos. As always, I'm gonna create like a word and and always, you are awesome.